it's definitely helped being in retail, knowing what to do online, because to us, it's no different.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the eComm Growth Show.
Let's go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eComm Growth Show. Today we have with us Elina and Ember of theClothesRak. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're super stoked to have you guys on because you have a pretty awesome story and sounds like a really long history of friendship. So yeah, we would just love to hear a little bit about how you guys got started, eventually maybe get into like some of your biggest learning lessons and just really start to hear how you guys got to where you are today.
Sure. Start. Sure. So, Elina and I met working retail probably like 22 years ago. That kind of ages us. We started working in retail at Nordstrom. Mm-hmm. We've both been in retail for so long, and it's just, kind of like in our blood. Mm-hmm. Then when the opportunity came up, we just kind of went for it.
Yeah, we started theClothesRak 2018, and it's kind of been, it started a little slow. We, just a lot of growing and learning. But now I think we're finally like in a really good swing of things. Mm-hmm. And we kind of know what our customer wants and all that jazz. So we love what we do. So
yeah.
Yeah,
we started in her basement. I should probably mention that.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Do you feel like your experience at Nordstrom really like gave you guys the confidence, the know-how? Did it feel like you were coming in completely brand new to starting your online store? Or did you feel like you had a pretty good idea of how it should look, how it should operate and that kind of thing?
Well, I think just working retail, we've both worked at multiple retail locations. I think one thing that we do a lot here is we relate everything that we do online to a retail store. So, you have to turn the key in the door to get the storefront open every day. So for us, it's like posting on Instagram and like being present. So just everything is relatable to that retail setting. So I think we've learned so much from that.
It's definitely helped being in retail, knowing what to do online, because to us, it's no different.
Yeah. It's such a cool approach and good way to go about it. And a lot of people don't have that background and experience. So I imagine that accelerated your guys' growth a lot. So you started, you found a good opportunity, you jumped on board in 2018. What did that first year look like together? I know for us, our first year in business wasn't the smoothest, a lot of learning lessons, but that's what propelled us to where we are now. What were those learning lessons for you guys in 2018?
I think for us was when we first started, we were kind of focusing on, doing things that everyone else would like, buying product that we thought that people would like, doing like promotions that people thought that they would like. And then it kind of turned, like we kind of sat down and we're like, wait a second, like this business is for us. Like we want to be happy with what we put out. And if we're not happy with the product that we sell, they're not going to buy it from us. We want to be like in love with what we sell, and we just kind of switch things around. And now we really just focus on our style, what we love, what we put together. And our customers just are kind of grew with that. Like they learn to love our style as well. And now it's to a point where like, where do you find these items? Like even people in our industry are, where do you guys find the style? Like, where do you find this? Where do you find, to us, it's just like second nature. We love clothes. We love fashion. We've always been in fashion. And I think the biggest learning is just doing things for us that makes us happy. In return, will make our customer happy.
That's so awesome. I feel like it creates such an authentic expression of a brand. Whereas a lot of people, they go into it and they're thinking like, what do I need to do to create something that everybody's going to like? Or what products can I buy that are going to sell really well? And then everything ends up looking the same and you're no different from your competition because everybody's doing the same thing. And it ends up just being like this thing where you're following trends and doing what you think everybody else is going to do. And then there's just no identity. There's no uniqueness about it. And so it's really cool that you guys found your ability to be unique just by like going after what you're passionate about. So that's super cool. And it's really cool too that people then stepped in line and followed that and enjoyed that with you. I think people are really drawn to passion.
Yeah, totally.
And they really feed off of our energy too. Like in our try-on sessions, like they would be able to tell if we didn't like something because, right away you're just like, I don't know if we can show this because we're just, not feeling it. So we've gotten into a good groove of styling stuff and
and I think even when we still like get product, when we purchase something and we get it in and like I do all of our like try on like pictures and stuff. So if I don't love it and if Ember doesn't love it, like we kind of have to, like if we both don't love it, we're like, you know what, it's going back. Like because if we don't love it, our customer's not going to love it. And it's really hard for us to sell product that's not to the quality that we want to sell. And it shows, and I think people really appreciate that, and they appreciate the honesty and the genuine feedback that we give them about product knowledge and fit. So that has been extremely helpful.
That's super awesome. And so kudos to you guys for having the courage to be able to do that. Because I think a lot of people, they actually really do get stuck in this idea of trying to do what everybody else likes. And so you guys had the courage. You're obviously growing because of it. So that's super awesome. Back to Daniel's question about like what it looked like in your guys' beginning phases in that first year. If you look at all the different building blocks that you need to be successful as a business, where were the areas that you guys felt like you needed help, or you went and got external help, or did you guys just figure out everything on your own from fulfillment to product selections and marketing? Like, what are the pieces that were just really challenging? Because I think that's for a new online store owner, it's really hard to get all those pieces right the first go around. And there's a lot of stuff where you are troubleshooting by yourself. So just curious how that experience was for you with all the different building blocks it takes to run a successful online store.
Well, honestly, I think we kind of just did it through trial and error. We Googled everything that we didn't know, like just from the very beginning, setting up the business, all of that, LLC, the business side of things. We had a very specific budget when we first started. We only had this much money for a product, and we bought specifically for that, one pack, which is crazy to me now. Like we would never buy one pack anymore, but I mean, you have to start somewhere. I think that's a lot of people. I mean, we're part of a boutique group, and a lot of people always ask the question, when do you know when to buy more packs? And I think you just wait and see. Like if something sells out quickly, like these more basic items that are going to sell faster, you probably need to up your pack size in that. Yeah. So just lots of trial and error.
We did Google a lot. I mean, even setting up the website, like I had to Google like how to set up the Shopify website, and did it all from just, going back and forth between my phone and computer, like learning how to do things. Spent countless hours on the on the phone with Shopify, setting things up. I think coming from retail, you kind of know like what you want, knowing like as far as like packaging goes and, what product to buy. Like, I guess we were buying for the customer. So, there was a few mistakes made there, but for the most part, we just kind of went with it head first and just figured things out as they came up, problems, whatever. So.
That's cool. And I love the day and age we live in where we have the ability to just Google stuff and look stuff up, like e-commerce, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. It's kind of like the Wild West. No one's going to college to learn how to like build an e-com store. Maybe they are, but I don't know how effective that is. But what's cool is people don't have an excuse to not do it, because you just got to research it, learn it, and then implement it, and then learn by trial and error. There's never going to be one perfect startup. You got to just trial and error. And I love that about your guys' store and how you guys were able to do that and then do it successfully. But so from 2018 to now, I want to talk about your guys' partnership a little bit, because obviously we're partners in the business, and it's been an amazing gift to both of us, but I know not everyone has the right partner. And, we've been advised by people to not go into business with friends or family or anything like that because it can go sideways. I'm sure you guys have heard similar things, but for us, we're super open, communicate about everything, and just make sure we're on the same page. And it's been a gift because you don't feel alone in it, first of all, but you're able to problem solve together. How has your guys' partnership been like through the last 3 years?
You might have just opened up a whole can of worms.
No, I think like Ember and I have a very good relationship. It's very, very honest, sometimes a little too honest, I think if neither one of us is like afraid to say what we feel or what we think we need to do. And we have like the mutual respect for each other because we do our goal obviously is for our business to be successful. So we will do whatever it takes, for the most part of like up until like 2019 is when you finally quit. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it was a lot of like, things would come to my house, but we have like division of responsibility, which, you learn from, being in retail. So we kind of from the very get-go have our own divisions of responsibility, and we are responsible for our own thing. And it's kind of like, if I don't do something, like she'll tell me, if she doesn't do something, she'll be like, okay, you need to do this or you need to do that. You know what I mean? So I think having that mutual respect and having the same goal in mind has definitely helped. So
definitely. Yeah. I think we're both kind of perfectionists in like different ways. And we really balance each other out really well. Like she's more of the impulsive one. I'm more of the like, oh my gosh, let's slow down and think about it. But it's just, it works well together.
I'm the crazy to her calm.
Yeah. So it works well.
That's awesome. Same with us. And I think a big lesson there is just being open and honest and not harboring stuff and be able to chat stuff through and get it on the table. Has been something really helpful for us. So you guys would recommend going into business with a partner? To all those that are listening, would you recommend it?
Well, I think you need to have the right partner. I mean, I do know some other partnerships that maybe aren't as successful as ours. I think both people just need to be really honest and have like the same goal in mind, So, I think if you go into it with a very open mind and just set it all out, I think lining up those different like divisions of responsibilities right away is really important because, when setting up the business, I was working full time and she did a lot of the business setup, and it already felt like, oh my gosh, she was doing so much and I wasn't doing this. So we sat down and we figured it out. So it's all really even. Yeah. So I think that's most important.
That's awesome. One other thing I wanted to point out that I feel like you guys do really well, and a lot of people could do a much better job of, is you guys just have really, really great content. So like your photos, your website, even the videos you have on there are just like super professional and beautiful. And I feel like, that so many people could learn to just get really good images of their stuff and have good lifestyle type photography. Was that always a priority for you guys, or has that kind of been a journey for you to get to the point where you are now, where you're always putting out really great content?
It was definitely a journey. Like we started, 2 years ago, not when we very first started, but we used different people as models, and it just, they're beautiful models and we had a photographer and all of that, but everybody wants to see us in the product, wants to see Elina in the product. That's what sells the product. And then I started taking pictures of Elina on the iPhone. I don't even know when we started that. Like, has it been like a year? About a year. And, I wasn't great at first with taking iPhone photos, but now it's just her and I take all the photos with iPhone 12 and she's our model. And it's so well. Yeah.
I think people whenever, even when we post our photos, people are like, oh my gosh, this photo is so beautiful. Like, what camera do you guys use? I'm like, you don't, we use an iPhone 12. Yep. And we have, we edit the photos really quick through Lightroom. Our product sells so quickly. So we kind of had to really figure out what was working for us. And, us taking photos together, literally we can leave in the middle of the day and say, okay, we have 3 photos or 3 items to take photos of. We go down the street, scout out our location, take photos really quickly, edit them, add them on the website, done. Like the product sells. You know what I mean? So
That's awesome.
We kind of had to figure that out, what worked for us. And it's just, but our biggest thing is our product, our pictures is what sells the product. Mm-hmm. So we want to, from the very beginning, we've always wanted to create that like environment, lifestyle image in people's minds. So when they are shopping on our website, they almost like immerse themselves into that location, and you know what I mean? Like to make them feel like they are there wearing the product. Mm-hmm. So we create that for them. And that's why sometimes like my husband will be like, what, Arizona? I'm like, yes, we are going. I mean, our last collection, we literally booked a trip on Wednesday to go to Arizona for 28 hours, took photos, over 300 photos, and, came back. Marathon. So it's kind of what we do. It works for us. And, maybe now it's a little bit easier because we, are still growing. It may not be as easy, later on as we grow, but for now it works. And I mean, we both love it. Yeah.
That's super awesome.
Go ahead. I
had no idea those were iPhone photos.
Yeah, that's
like, holy smokes.
Which people
awesome.
Can't have an excuse though for not good content because the iPhone does so well, and you guys are a testament of it.
Yeah.
Like I think people overthink it, and a lot of times don't want to show themselves because they're a little self-conscious of like it has to look this certain way like these other brands. But I think people's following wants to see them in the clothes, and that's why they're following. That's why they're buying from them. So it's super amazing you guys are doing that. Now I forgot my question that I was going to ask. I went on a rabbit trail.
No, it's super good. It's top notch. And I like that it's, for the most part, it is scalable. It's quick. I can't tell you how frustrating it is, for us, if we're working with somebody and running their ads, for them to like want to put everything on hold because they need to take 3 weeks to, photograph their new inventory, and they just drag out this process. But over the course of a quarter or 2 quarters, like if you do that a couple times, you're missing out on so much opportunities to be selling. And so it's cool that you guys get it. You have a system for getting the content out there. It looks great. It's relatable to the customers, and then you're ready to go. And so that's super, super awesome. And it's cool too that, even if you do need to break up the look and feel of it, you're just doing 28 hours over at Arizona really quick. Like, boom, it's done.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
So over the last 3 years, guys, as you've been scaling, I remembered my question. How have you guys thought about hiring new people? Do you just think about what you're not super good at and kind of what you want to offload and stay in your lane? Or what's that journey been like? Because I know a lot of people kind of don't know who to hire or when to hire. But you guys have done it very successfully. How did you think about that?
Well, right now we only have 2 employees.
Okay.
And it's us. So we have a shipping and receiving girl. And then we also have someone who does our social media, who is actually just recently moved to Kansas City. She was based in Minnesota. I think for us, it was something like, because the shipping and receiving kind of came naturally, we got to a point where Ember and I just couldn't handle everything that we had to do for like Instagram and try-ons and shipping. So we were like, okay, like this is something that we can like offload on someone else who can focus and give its, 100% attention to, that can take off of our plate. And then, Instagram or social media kind of the same. It takes a lot of time and effort to make sure that everything is flowing and has the same kind of feel and content is relatable. And I personally just don't have the time to do it because I did a lot of our social media. I just don't have time. 2 kids and husband and family. I just don't, so that was kind of another thing. And then I think we are now at that second like cusp of, okay, I think we need to hire someone who can be like a content creator in the office. Don't you think?
And probably another maybe part-time shipping, receiving person, because the amounts of product that's coming in right now, it's just we need somebody to process it for us now, I think. So
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a natural process, but it's also, you know, like, oh, we have a need here. Let's plug a person in. We're running out of time. I think it's also cool to vision cast, you know, like, where do I want to be in 10 years? What does my exact role look like? And start future tripping. We do this a lot. And basically hiring someone to do the things that drain us of our energy so that we can do the things we love, and focus in those areas. So that's been really helpful for us, but thanks for sharing. And I feel like
that's kind of where we are. Yeah, that's kind of where we are too. Yeah. Like something that we can, you know, take off of our plate that someone else can like do better than us, you know? And I mean, I feel like that's kind of like a natural thing. You just, no one's ever going to tell you, hey, you need to hire so-and-so, or you just kind of have to come to that yourself. You know, if it's taking too much of your time, that's when it's time to like offload that responsibility.
Cool. Awesome. So in the history of the Clothes Rack, what are some of the biggest needle pushers, like the biggest things that have contributed to getting you to where you are now?
I think our retail background for sure, you know, like we've just learned so much from retail. Everything we do on the website is based off of our knowledge in like a retail store. So that for sure has been for me anyway.
Yeah, I would agree. We literally treat our website as if it's our own little store. Even how like Ember adds like all the collections and everything on the website, and she's amazing at merchandising. So instead of merchandising a store, she merchandises our website. And if you ever go in through a collection, you'll see like everything just goes together, and our customers really love that. And our sales kind of show that, because they don't just buy one item, they buy like few things because of the way it's merchandised. Yeah.
Very cool. Cool. And then last question I have, unless Daniel, you have anything else?
All right, let's hear yours first and I'll decide.
Well, I was going to see, you know, for somebody who's looking to start an online store, what advice would you give them if you could only give them one piece of advice?
A piece of advice from each of us?
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
That's fair enough.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I have so many pieces of advice. I would say, definitely, like, if you have any retail background, like, it's no different. Like, treat it the same. Treat your online website as you would a storefront, and really just like buy product that you love. Don't try to buy for the masses, because I mean, some of the product that we bought when we first started, I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, what were we thinking? You know, it's 3 years ago.
That's a
but
good
yeah,
piece.
and I just think ask questions, find like groups that you can like bounce questions off of each other, you know, and just like, because that's been helpful.
Yeah. I think for me, I would say just go for it. I think there's so many people who are so afraid of the unknown. And for us, it was just, you know, if it's sitting on your heart that this is something that you want to do, just go for it. And then just learn as you go, make mistakes. It's okay. No one is perfect. No one's going to shame you for it. Just go for it. Do what you love, because it will show through your daily, you know, correspondences with the customers. You know, be genuine, be honest, and just go for it. You have nothing to lose. So
awesome.
I definitely don't have any questions. That was a great way to wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for that. Rob, why don't you do the outro so I don't mess it up?
Oh man, I was gonna tell you to bring it home. But guys, if you enjoyed what you heard today, if you found value in this, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Maybe write us a little review, and share it with somebody, because we're just trying to facilitate conversations that are helping people in the e-commerce world. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and it's so awesome to hear your story and all the cool strengths you guys bring into your online store.
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. See you guys next time.